All right, so imagine your girl's a Stranger Things fan, and then she ends up getting catfished by who she thinks is an actor of Stranger Things, sends them 10K, and then divorces you. That's where we're about to find out about in this video reaction. Let's get it.
I am obsessed with Stranger Things. But
Oh,
the
I
thing
wasn't
is, when I tallied it
expecting
all
her to
up,
look like that.
it was
Or was I?
$10,000-ish dollars.
I don't know if that's okay to say.
I told my ex-husband, I said, listen, I said, it's not working out. I said, you're not letting me be me. You're not letting me be free. I said, I think you need to leave. So he left. Within 2 months, he was gone.
What?
What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com. Why does this famous guy need money from you, Michaela?
See, I wondered that too. Until he starts doing things that make me believe that he is who he is.
I'm sorry, bro, but
we speak to Michaela about her online relationship with the actor Dacre Montgomery, aka
I'm not gonna okay, hold on. Before we even if we look around here, I think we see a visual pattern. Maybe I'm gonna get called an asshole in my comments for this. For sure. Probably. If I was live right now, the homies would be like going crazy in the chat talking about Tubbs, you're an ass. But I think we see a visual pattern. Just saying.
Episode, we speak to Michaela about her online relationship with the actor Dacre Montgomery, aka Billy from Stranger Things. The two met on a forum over a year ago, but have never met in person. She is now having doubts about everything after funding Dacre's life for over a year. Dacre claimed he needed money until he broke up with his girlfriend, and this was the only way he would be able to finally leave her to be with Michaela. Let's jump into it and see if we can help her out. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
My name is Kayla. Hi, Social Catfish. I'm an artist. I work in film and I do a lot of editing. I do a lot of production and stuff like that. I also act as a hobby, so that's pretty fun. So I'm on both sides of the camera there.
Okay.
I am a single mom from Kentucky. I have a daughter who's about to turn 7. I have been a single parent pretty much since she's been born. I'm separated from my husband. He's estranged, I guess you could put it that way. He lives over 500 miles away. We separated because he was very toxic.
Michaela has always been an artistic person. During her marriage, she felt her husband was limiting her creativity, so she decided to express her art online.
It was on a forum. It was on an artist forum.
She joined a forum where she could meet other creative people, and that's when it all began.
Anyone who has any...
Hello, let me just go read that.
That's when it all began.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michaela, and I'm incredibly excited to connect with the fellow filmmakers who shared the same passion for the art of filmmaking. I'm currently seeking creative collaboration opportunities, and I believe that together we can create something truly remarkable. If you're as passionate about filmmaking as I am, I invite you to join forces and embark on an inspiring journey together. Let's bring our ideas to life and make an impact through the power of film. Okay. So her man was like,
anyone who
stopping her from doing this
could be in it.
That's not cool.
This guy messaged me. He was under a different username. Me and him get to kind of talking, and then he admits that he is an actor, like a well-known actor.
Okay.
And of course, here I am thinking, oh, well, he's going to say he's Johnny Depp or something. He tells me that he's Dacre Montgomery. That's like one of my favorite actors. And me and him just really hit it off. But of course, I'm suspicious from the get-go until he starts doing things that make me believe that he is who he is.
How could you, though? I'm confused.
Upon receiving an email from Michaela, we arranged a call with her to delve deeper into the matter and gather additional information. We approached this interview like any other case. Our primary objective was to understand the underlying reason driving Michaela to think that this was the real Dacre.
I am obsessed with Stranger Things. Billy is just this bully. He kind of comes in, tries to dominate, which is totally unlike his actual personality.
What's the reason that you guys aren't able to meet face to face?
Well, see, okay, that's one thing that we actually bonded over. And basically, through the relationship,
Wait, what?
he was venting to me after a few months about his partner, saying she's very controlling of him. He doesn't get to do the things he wants to do. You know, she's always there. She's always got to supervise. And I kind of empathize with that because my ex-husband was that way.
Okay, so wait.
At about a year.
So wait, by the time this was happening to her, she was already separated?
After we kind
So
of
not
admitted
divorced?
feelings for each other.
Okay,
said,
interesting.
You know, there's nothing like, you know, the feeling of love when it's reciprocated. And I said, what? And he said, I'm indirectly asking you out. And I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of stupid about this. I was like, what do you mean asking me out? And he said, I want you to be my girlfriend.
Huh.
And he was just like, but you got to keep it quiet. He said, because, you know, I'm still with Liv. And he was like, but I'm not technically with her. He said they had broken up.
Did he ever post anything that they were broken up at that time, or?
There were things I noticed. Basically, at the time that he said that they had broken up, he said they've been broken up for about 6 months. When I went back into his past history, like on his Instagram and things, the romantic sort of, you know, flirty messages that they would send to each other, like, you know, post about each other, had stopped within that time period. They weren't doing Valentine's Day posts. They weren't doing birthday posts. He wasn't posting about her. She wasn't posting about him. The only thing that I have seen in the last 2 years of those two posting about each other recently was a thing where she was posting about their 5-year anniversary.
Bruh.
A year of not talking to somebody on the phone is a
Bruh.
very long time, Michaela.
That is one thing that was a huge red flag to me, but at the same time, I kind of understood, because he said where she was so controlling of him and he couldn't get away from her, like she's glued at his hip. He wasn't able to call. He wasn't able to, you know, video chat and stuff like that.
After communicating with him for months, Michaela had to make a choice. It was either
bruh. I don't even know if I can release this reaction now, bro. Like I can tell I'm being a dickhead. This is insane, fam. What do you mean, bro? Like, my nickname is Tubbs, fam, okay? So, like, I went through most of my life being a fat-ass nigga, bro. No cap. Okay? So, like, 240 pounds plus and shit. So, it's not unheard of to, like, bag a baddie. I'm just saying, like, it's... As long as you got talks and stuff like that, maybe from a male perspective or something like that, if you got talks and you got game or something like that, I guess if you're funny and you're just chill, you're not creepy, like, it's pretty easy for you to get a girlfriend or get a girl. Like, on Twitter recently, there's been this one streamer dude who everybody's, like, up in arms with because he has a cute little short girl who's, like, small frame body, and he's, like, fat and trying to lose weight and shit, and they were dancing. So it's, like, whatever, right? But, like, it's not unheard of for you to, like, be overweight or generally, like, she's not ugly, this woman. You know what I mean? Like, you could be generally not the societal standard of attractiveness and still bag the societal standard of attractiveness or attractiveness plus. Like, you know what I mean? But shorty, this is a millionaire actor on one of the hottest shows on Netflix. Are you okay? Are you
her husband or Dacre.
There's still 20 minutes of this.
The only way they could truly be together.
Because he gave me the ultimatum after we had been together for a little while. He gave me an ultimatum. He said, listen, he said, it's either your husband, he said, or it's me.
What?
And I said, look, there's no competition. I said, you treat me better.
What?
So I told my ex-husband, I said, listen, I said, it's not working out. I said, you're not.
He doesn't live with you. How? Wow. What? The man treats her better than over the phone through text than her man at home. Her man has to be a piece of trash, fam. Like, he has to be a piece of trash.
So I told my ex-husband, I said, listen, I said, it's not working out. I said, you're not letting me be me. You're not letting me be free. I said, I think you need to leave. So he left. Within 2 months, he was gone. My ex-husband is out of the house. I said, I'm separated from him. I said, there's no one here except for me and, my daughter, Rain. I said, it's just us.
Wait,
said,
so
now
she
it's
did.
your turn. I was like,
So she did separate with the man because of this? Nah, this is insane.
You're gonna be with me.
This is insane.
Efforts. I said, even if those efforts are just getting, your own stuff away from her.
Dacre had agreed to leave his girlfriend to be with Michaela, but we wanted to know what exactly was making her think that this whole thing was real.
When Stranger Things season 4 came out, the day before it came out, he texted me and he said, hey, you need to watch episode 4.
Okay.
And he said, if you don't watch anything else, watch episode 4. And when it came out the next day, and he showed up in that episode. And I was like, well, who else would know that? And he would send me poems, which I am a poem reader. I've actually got his book here. And the poems that he was sending me are things that would go along with things like what his style of writing. And so that's another thing that kind of confused me.
Why does this famous guy need money from you, Michaela?
See, I wondered that too. And then he explained it. He said, if I try to use my bank account, she's over it. He said, it's, joint. He said, so she keeps all the stuff.
So?
And he said, so I would have to ask her all the time.
What the hell?
And I understood that point too, because my ex was very controlling over our money. Well, then it kind of went on for a few weeks. And then all of a sudden he came back. He said, hey, would I be able to ask you to help me here and there if I decided to, separate from her? And I said, well, I can't help much. I said, but I can help a little bit here and there. Before I knew it, it was turning into $100 and $200 gift cards. But the thing is, when I tallied it all up, it was $10,000-ish.
Dacre promised Michaela he would pay all of the money she sent to him. He wanted to disconnect from his girlfriend, Liv, and claimed he needed to open up another bank account without her knowing until the relationship.
If I speak, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Michaela was essentially funding Dacre's lifestyle for a year. He would even send her money in the form of gift cards and checks.
Basically, he would get the gift cards like how I used to do. Like,
Wait, what?
I would get gifted gift cards and stuff all the time, and I would sell them for less than what they were worth. And I would, pocket the money. Well, that's kind of what he was doing. He said that he was going to start doing that so he could have a little bit of money for himself, like some pocket change. And he would, give them, and he would get money from them, and then he would pocket them. Like,
this is insane.
He'd sell it for like $100, and then he would have $100 in his pocket. And when I done that, he wouldn't ask for money for another little while. So I was like, okay, if this is working, it's working for him, we'll just keep on doing that.
Michaela would deposit everything into her bank account and send it to Dacre through Bitcoin.
And now you understand why I had to contact you guys, because I'm like, it's not the typical scam.
Okay.
It's unique.
I mean, there's a lot of red flags here.
This is insane.
Doesn't look the best. I'm gonna be
This
honest.
is sophisticated. Okay, this catfish, whoever the person is behind this computer, is sophisticated, fam. Like, super sophisticated. Because, like, what do you mean you got this off? And you're getting this off on multiple people, for sure.
Romantic that's just holding on to, maybe this is the gentle guy I've been looking for, and maybe he is real. Maybe he will, return and be like a knight in shining armor,
We'll look into things for you, Michaela, and we'll get back to you, okay?
A
All right, I
multi-millionaire
appreciate it, guys.
needs money in the form of gift cards because of this
all
girl.
of Michaela's information.
All right, so guys, this is Michaela. I know you guys had a chance to speak with her and look into her info. Any highlights?
I think one of the most compelling parts of this case and what made her believe that she was really talking to Dacre was the fact that he had details on Stranger Things season 4.
I think one thing we see like a lot with this and the Johnny Depp cases, I mean, it follows like a lot of the signs of romance scams. They're just trying to target younger people. So they're using celebrities, they isolate them. In her case, she had this marriage where, like, I think that, was already in a situation where somebody could intervene because she had allowed it.
For
But,
real.
this
Literally.
person gets involved,
Like, she was gonna
isolates her
cheat
from her
anyways.
spouse, then,
Like,
falls in love with
what?
her really quickly.
Like, this is
We saw a
insane,
lot of
no?
conversations. They were very surface level types of conversations. So things already weren't going that well beforehand.
So how do we move forward with this? I know Michaela is eagerly waiting our answers.
Virginia and Bree started to dig into all of Michaela's information and hopefully get some clarity and some answers on Dacre.
So for Michaela's case, there's a lot of missing information, but we were able to get access to some of her chats.
Okay, so what are we thinking?
There's this one chat in particular where he was telling her about his day and
Already on the left,
lasagna.
kind of bad though.
I don't know if he
Tell me I'm
actually
lying.
did it or not. So we can
Why
definitely-
not? Does it look too delicious?
It looks too good. It looks way too good.
I gotta see this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you see that? A picture of the lasagna? It looks good, huh?
It does look pretty good. I'm thinking I can just run a reverse image search and see what we come up with.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Reverse lasagna search?
Love it.
Put that on the shirt.
Lasagna. Oh my gosh.
Martha Stewart lasagna.
That exact photo.
What do you know?
Wait, you took it from Martha Stewart?
Yeah.
Martha Stewart.
Martha
the
Stewart
Martha
recipe.
Stewart. The exact.
Clever guy. Did she send over anything else we could look into?
There's this picture of a check that I think that it's worth digging into.
Okay, let's see.
So this is the check that he sent her.
Mmm.
And what's interesting is that it's a check made from her to her.
From Michaela
Wait, what?
to Oh.
Mhm.
All right, we
For
gotta run a search
5,000.
on this. Just gonna go to socialcatfish.com and drop a picture of the check and see if something comes up for the signature. All right.
So what? This is just like a show for like.
Whoa.
So it turned out to be fake?
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
actually, that wasn't the most compelling factor for Michaela. The reason she truly believes she's talking to Dacre is the fact that he leaked the season 4, episode 4 title to her just the day before it dropped. Is there any way we can look into that?
I think we can.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Check this out. Stranger Things announces season 4 episode titles in
what?
new video. That was published November 2021. But he told her about it in May of 2022.
So you could have easily...
Could have easily found this and manipulated it and made it look like he knew some insider information when this is public information. It got leaked months before.
Stick around until the end. We'll go over everything that we found to Michaela.
So why would he send you a fake check though with a fake signature?
Like what?
I have no idea.
If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We appreciate you so much.
It was now time to sit down with Michaela and go over
There.
everything that
I
we
did
found.
it. You should do
Our
it too.
team
Like
looked
this
at every
video.
piece of information you sent over. We have answers
Watch.
today and we have a conclusion.
Well, in a perfect world, it would be true, and maybe it would convince, the powers be to get help.
I want to first start off with some facts on Dacre. So he makes
Okay.
around $150,000 per episode of Stranger Things.
I was waiting for something like this. Because she gave that man 10K and she said her man was in charge of their finances at home. And I think I know why now. I think I understand why he was in charge of the finances and why it only took 2 months for him to leave. Just saying.
And they do about 8
You get 150
episodes
per episode.
every season. When you do
What
the
does that
math
man
on
need 10K for?
I mean, he's not hurting for money.
No,
But
he's
what
a
his
millionaire.
excuse was, we have a joint account, and every time I try to make a purchase, she tries to take it back, and which I ran into that problem with my ex, so I kind of understood that. That's why I'm not gonna immediately dismiss it, but at the same time, it was fishy.
And don't get me twisted. I feel bad for her if she was in an actual abusive controlling relationship. Because she seems like a sweet lady. Yeah, I mean, and that's probably why she was targeted and shit like that. She seems like it's obvious by this video. It's like hindsight speaking. Like she's a vulnerable person, brother.
Well, speaking of the relationship, we
Jesus.
want to go over his relationship with Liv. We found that they've been together since 2017.
He told me that they broke up somewhere around 2020, I think.
Okay.
Like mid 2020, somewhere in there. And he also told me she was supposed to be moving to his apartment January of the following year, 2021, and he did not. So that was the first red flag, major red flag.
You don't say.
Especially I seen that they had posted, well, I can't remember who had posted. I think it was one of their friends had posted a photo of in their new house in LA. And when I confronted him about it, he was like, oh, well, you know, pretend and we have to make 9 million people or whatever think that we're together or else someone's going to know something's wrong. And then that's going to look bad on me. So
when you compare the timelines in which he was saying those things to you, the internet says a completely different story. You know, we found articles all over the internet, them on the news, them in interviews, that shows that they have a healthy relationship.
We weren't able to find any evidence that Dacre's relationship with his girlfriend Liv was toxic in any way. It was true that Dacre and Liv do take long breaks of posting each other on social media. But this was just another way the scammer was able to manipulate Michaela into believing their relationship was rocky.
So we do want to dive into some of the searches that we ran. Can you tell me more about what the backstory on the check is?
Okay, so he had been paid.
By the way, this is CBD pen. Don't ask me about if it's
he had
nicotine.
his
I don't smoke
accountant
nicotine. Fuck that shit.
send some money and a check, and he said, "Can you get it cashed for me?" And I said, "Well, I cash it. You know, it's not my check." And he said, "Well, if it gets put into this account," and he is like, "and then I take it out, could you cash it before she would have time to stop it?" And I was like, "Well, I guess." I was like,
"Nah, this
I
is
don't know
insane."
what to do with it, you know? So I did it. I bank account and I deposited the check. I said that I got paid for something. And so I gave it to them and then they ran it. And then of course I said, keep it. I said, I want my account frozen until that check clears. And it didn't clear, of course.
When we ran the signature at the bottom right-hand corner of the check, we got some hits on that signature.
When we ran a reverse image search on this check, we found hundreds of fraudulent checks all over the internet with this same exact signature. The scammer just photoshopped the signature into the check and sent it to Michaela.
When these scammers create a fake check, they'll use this specific signature a lot.
Yeah, I figured that.
So why would he send you a fake check though with a fake signature?
I have no idea. That was one of the first things to throw up a red flag for me.
So we also looked
What kind
into
of
some of the chat conversations you sent us. One of the main things that stood out to us from those chats is the picture of the lasagna he sent you. Michaela, he didn't make this lasagna.
That's not that's not whoever the hell you guys are looking for either.
Cookbook. This image is all over the internet and this recipe is actually pretty popular.
So that's where it came from. I was about to say, I was like, that does not look like, it kind of looks like it, but at the same time, I'm like, fishy.
Yeah, so basically he went on to Martha Stewart's internet cookbook, screenshotted this photo, and when you asked him a question, he said he was too busy because he was working on this or making this lasagna. And all he did was just steal that from
why
there
did you
and then
reply
send
to
it
me?
to you.
I knew that whoever it was, either they were pretty good at cooking or they got it from somewhere and I did nowhere. So I already kind of figured that one too.
Due to the fact that this guy sent you so many things that are from so many different places all over the internet, we come to the conclusion that you're speaking to what's called a romance scammer. He's done research on you.
For
he's
sure.
looked at your backstage profile, your Facebook, and
For
he's
sure.
basically morphing himself into this person that you want him to be, and also attaching
Figured.
Dacre Montgomery's photos to that profile.
Scammers spend hours and days researching an individual before attempting to extract any money.
What if it was her ex-husband? That'd be
Their objective is to
insane, dude.
identify the target's vulnerabilities. They spend days delving into every aspect of their lives.
Super
The
vulnerable.
purpose of their research is to establish a connection with their victims. They'll exploit.
This is why I was saying she's mad vulnerable, bro. And this is exactly why I said in the beginning of this, when I showed all these people, like the freeze frame of that, where I was just like, do you guys see the visual pattern here? There's a visual pattern that you can see with people that sometimes are vulnerable, especially like there's looks to it. Like you can see, like, you can see sadness on people, bro. You can see it. Like you can see when somebody's not doing well at times. Some people have a really good way of masking and hiding it, but the people who are looking for it can spot it and can pick out a vulnerable person right away, instantly. It's kind of insane. And then doing such sophisticated backlogging and back searching and everything like that when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, it's not even really that sophisticated. It's all over the internet for free for most people, and they don't have they have public profiles, so it's just like you can look at your entire lineage and history of your life and your family and everything like that.
Such as the aftermath of a divorce or the loss of a friend or a family member. It's a strategy that scammers have been using for years.
Okay, I hadn't told him anything about my toxic ex-husband, and he just kind of vented me about that, about him and his girlfriend's issues or whatever. So I kind of sympathized with that. And when he told me that, I was like, well, that's kind of like how me and
it's her man, isn't it?
Around people. Like, I didn't tell him that, but I said,
is that her? Is her man the one doing this? That would be insane.
We're the perfect family. Like, we've got, the kid, we've got apartment together, we've got car together, we've got all this, picket fence kind of, looking family. You close the door, it's nothing, it's everything but. It's literally like, it's toxic, it's narcissism, it's just everything bad. So I was like, I kind of understand that from that angle. But again, he didn't even know that at first. That's why I was like, I'll kind of keep this as my ace in my pocket. But I kind of understood that angle because I was coming from a spot like that. It's something that I can't really describe. It's like someone would just have to feel it to understand it.
This scammer targeted all of Michaela's vulnerabilities, tapping into her desire for creative, attractive, and attentive companion. The deception reached a deeper level when he shared his own struggle with his toxic relationship. Not to mention, he was her favorite actor on her favorite TV show.
So I've watched a lot of y'all's CATFISH episodes, and all the comments, there's so many comments saying, how could these people fall in love with these total strangers and send them money and blah, blah, blah. In my case, I'm just like, I just hope that it goes to help somebody. But as far as how can you fall in love with these people, I'm just like, love makes you do crazy, stupid, irrational things. I promise. And trauma does one heck of a thing to a person.
For sure.
So instead of judging that person on why they done that to a total stranger that they had never met, maybe, just kind of look and see if that person's ever been traumatized by something. Because if you're someone like me, you're afraid of abandonment. And you're a real big people pleaser, and you're very codependent. So it's like, maybe these people have these problems, and these scammers, they just kind of come in and they leech off that.
Yeah,
it's
the scammers who are the problem.
Every time you wake up, every time you go to bed, several hours a day, it's a fix. It's a hit. Honestly, I think you guys are great. You've been fantastic to talk to. It seems like you guys actually do your research, which is great, because I sure couldn't do it. Like the lasagna photo, I could not have found that. I wouldn't have even thought to look in a Martha Stewart cookbook. But I think the team's
people
been
don't know how to
great.
Google
you guys
things.
have been great to just talk to and work with, and very professional, very thorough. And I can't say much more that hasn't already been said. I mean, you guys have done everything, and I'm very appreciative of it, because now it's like, there's no longer any sort of wiggle room anywhere.
Well, Michaela, we appreciate you so much. We really enjoyed, talking to you and helping you through this whole thing. We hope that you just stay safe online. Remember, anytime anybody asks you for money, it's 10 times out of 10, it's a scam. So just try to stay safe, okay?
Will do.
Michaela has blocked Dacre's fake profile and decided to take a break from the internet. She wants to spend more quality time with her daughter. Yeah, that's what you should have been doing. Our next step is getting her to report this scam and filing a police report. Sheesh. Sheesh. Okay, so that's it. That's nothing else. Okay, cool. Yeah, my takeaway from this whole thing is basically like, bruh. For one, first and foremost, the scammer is absolutely in the wrong. That person's a piece of like a low life piece of dog. You know what I'm saying? Like absolute worthless human being. Could have used their brain power and their smarts and their sleuthing ability and stuff like that to build a business, work in a company, find leads for people, and make thousands upon thousands of dollars. But I guess when you don't have to work, well, you still work just as hard with the emotional connections of talking to people all the time like that. It makes it no different from having a 9 to 5. But I guess he still made 10 racks off this woman. But the fact that this now when it comes to this woman, like she has fault too, of course. Like I can't absolve her of fault. Like if she's in a super abusive relationship, there's so many psychological factors in that can lead to these kind of things that like that's why I'm empathetic towards her situation. You know what I'm saying? I have empathy for her. I don't sympathize with it because like I'm not gonna be sympathetic towards the entire situation. I'm gonna have empathy towards her mental state and and the things she went through mentally in that relationship. If they were as bad as she's saying, but from what she's saying is like he was kind of controlling with money and things like that, and like didn't let her be free. So I don't know what that really means, kind of thing. But as soon as he told her, she told him to like leave. He left within 2 months, bruv. Like he just moved 500 miles away in 2 months. He just said it's not worth it. Like there's a lot of dynamics there that make me be like, yo, what the fuck is going on? If she's in a physical and mental like crazy relationship that's abusive and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, I feel for her for sure. And like get out of that. Like she needed to get out of that. It's hard to get out of those relationships and stuff like that. Trust me, some of these abusers, they keep these people in these relationships. This doesn't seem to be the case as far as we know, based off this woman kind of thing, right? There was no abuse being mentioned. Hopefully, there's no abuse involved. But this woman sent a man totaling $10,000 who is already a multi-millionaire and fell in love with him over text as a single mother when this man has like access to everything in the world. Like he's getting paid $100K an episode, brother. And again, I said like, yo, this woman is not ugly. Okay? She's not ugly, bro. Yeah, she may have a little weight gain, but she's not ugly. She's just not the brightest crayon in the box when it comes to this. I feel really bad for her. I feel like her status, her mental status is kind of in shambles right now. And that's why she is looking for love in all the wrong places. But holy shit, bro. This is insane. This is insane.